driving past as well as everybody else. What was a great battle for DeFerrin is now apparently over. But the battle itself not yet complete. Bobby Rahal now runs in third place, and he is trying to chase Jimmy Vasser. That's Vasser just ahead. So it's a battle for second place between Rahal and Vasser. Unser Jr. has 29 seconds over second place. The other question, of course, is fuel to the end of the race. Vasser turns very sharply, and Rahal closes. Andre Ribeiro sits ahead of Vasser.
Great run here for Vasser and for Rahal. Rahal has slowly climbed his way up. This car did not handle well on Friday. He had changed it almost every single session. But this morning, he said he's working on being best in class, best of the Lolas. Well, that is good enough right now to be on the rostrum.
With 2 laps to go, fuel looms very big as a question. Will they go driving past? White flag comes out for Al Unser Jr., so Unser Jr. is going to try to make it the whole way.
That piece of debris we saw was not from Al Jr.'s car. We do believe it was from Greco's. We mentioned that earlier. We do believe it was not from this Penske. So it's plain sailing now. We know he has enough fuel.
Gary Gerould.
And regarding DeFerrin, we just talked to Jim Hall. They have fuel pressure, so it wasn't out of fuel. It's something motor or engine related.
No, it was a very sudden stop. Jan?
A very quick update on Al Unser Jr. When Paul Tracy came out, his closest competition, he could slow down, lean the car, short shift. He should make it easily on fuel.
Unser Jr. working the fast part, the backside. He's done with that now. 29 seconds. He is ahead of second place Jimmy Vasser.
He's cruising through these last S's and the last right-hander.
Still has power on the car, though. Jr. completes his second victory of the year, the 29th win in his career. And he takes the points lead in the fight for the PPG Cup. Now Rahal trying to close Vasser, the battle for second place. Vasser well ahead, but Rahal's right there. Is it possible that there could be a run off of this final corner? Sounds like Vasser stuttered just a little bit coming off the corner, but now under full acceleration. And Jimmy Vasser takes second. Rahal finishes in third. And Stefan Johansson, who was running in fourth, gets rear-ended. The fourth place car, Johansson, is rear.
Listen closely for an unbelievable offer from Lancaster Pioneer Honda, an offer we don't think you can match in Kansas, New York, Sheboygan, Wisconsin, certainly not in California. While supplies last, every Accord LX in stock is at an unbelievable price of $15,888. Your choice of color, automatic, air conditioning, AM/FM cassette, power windows, and more. That's right, $15,888 with financing as low as 2.9%. We heard the dealer in Biloxi's matching this offer, but this is a rumor. Lancaster Pioneer Honda and the Lancaster Auto Mall.
Lancaster Community Hospital wants to be your company's primary medical treatment center for all your work-related injuries. We'll be there for you 24 hours a day with full-service x-ray, physical and occupational therapy, plus flexible hours for follow-up visits and more. Our staff emphasizes limited temporary disability, an early return to work on a light-duty basis, and communication with you. Lancaster Community Hospital, your company's in-house medical department.
Let me ask you something honestly. You think this game has really gotten better since the old days?
There seems to be some sort of commotion.
What, are you kidding me?
And here comes Morgetta. Oh, my goodness. She is flying down that third baseline.
More off-road championships than anyone. But winning isn't everything. Building better trucks is. So after every race, we take our trucks apart, piece by piece. We look for ways to make them even more powerful, even more durable. Because whether we're building a one-of-a-kind racing machine or your one and only truck, at Toyota, our minds are always racing.
One of the big events of the Extreme Games is going to be sky surfing. Skydive is going to spin, twirl, flip all in front of a camera person who jumps with him. And naturally, 2 people falling from 14,000 feet pose some risks. But I found that if you move in an irregular fashion, you drastically reduce the chance that you'll be hit by a stray surfboard.
How long do we have to do this?
For 5 days tops.
The Extreme Games continue tomorrow at 7:30 on ESPN.
Today's coverage of the Budweiser G.I. Joe's 200 has been brought to you by Firestone, America's tire since 1900. By Texaco Haviland Formula 3 motor oil. Add more life to your car. Take it to the star. And by Toyota Motorsports. Our minds are always racing. So Al Unser Jr. has taken the win, Gary Gerould.
Something about this place the Junior absolutely loves. This is only his 4th natural terrain road course win, 3 of them now in Portland. The key may have come and you stalked Jacques Villeneuve early. You set him up perfectly for the pass, it appeared.
Well, it was, you know, I figured Jacques was going to be the strongest one out there today, and you know, he got off to a good start and so on, and got a little bit deep on the original start. But then, you know, he started to go away, and it was going to be tough. But he ended up backing up to me, you know, and I was able to stay with him. And then it was just, you know, I was really waiting for the pit stop because my guys are the best in the business, and we were waiting for them. But
so he's done it again. Team Penske's back, and he's vaulted to the head of the standings, Paul.
Well, and the cycle continues. Al Unser Jr. adds his name to the cycle that we started at the start. Now, this was the battle for 4th as Michael, in the final turn, punted Stefan Johansson. Michael, therefore, finished 4th. Johansson dropped way down to 6th.
I don't think this was Michael's fault. Johansson obviously stalled exiting that onto that front straight, and Michael had no option but to run into him.
So here is the unofficial order of finish with Al Unser Jr. taking the win, followed by Vassar, Rahal, Michael Andretti, Raul Boesel, Stefan Johansson, Guzman, Gordon, Fernandez, DeFerrant. We take you all the way through the order now. Al Unser Jr. takes the points lead, but Robbie Gordon stays real tight in 2nd place. And any one of 6 guys could vault into the lead with the win at the next race, which is, of course, at Road America at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Golf is coming up next. Al Unser Jr. has taken the win here, his 2nd win of the year. I'm Paul Page for Derek Daly, Gary Gerould, and Jan Beekes. So long.
Here to be their best, to test both themselves and their machines. It is the premier facility in the Northwest and jealously guards that distinction. It's typical threatening weather in the northwest corner of the United States, where we have already seen numerous rain squalls this weekend. Hello, everyone. I'm Bill Adam, and welcome to Portland, Oregon for round 5 in the 12-race 1995 SCCA Trans Am Championship season. Well, so far this season, through 4 races, we've seen 3 different winners. Dorsey Schrader winning twice for Ford, and of course, Price Cobb and Ron Fellows upholding the Chevrolet banner. Those victories have contributed to a virtual tie in the all-important Manufacturers' Championship, which, as we saw in Detroit, is almost as important as the driver's title. And as far as that goes, no clear trend has yet started to define itself, except that Tommy Kendall is proving to be Mr. Consistent for 95. That consistency has allowed him to grab the points lead at the beginning of the year and hold on to it in spite of the fact that he is yet to win his first race of this season. Now, with more on the drivers competing for that distinguished title, here's Chris McClure.
Bill, as you mentioned, the threatening skies continue to be a topic of conversation and an issue for this racing day. Of course, an issue for the entire racing season is the points, and the most consistent is Tom Kendall. 2 seconds, 2 fourths. Not yet a win, but you lead the points, and that's a comfortable place to be.
It's better than being 16 points behind, I'll tell you that. You know, we've had a really fast car. We've been the quickest qualifier more often than not. We've been the fastest car in the races. Unfortunately, this year that's been more of a penalty than a benefit, but it also is the reason probably we're 16 points ahead. So we're just going to try to keep doing what we've been doing. The wins will come when they're ready. We're not going to try to force the wins. We'll just be in a position when the things fall our way to capitalize.
Dorsey Schrader second in the points, just 16 off the lead, 3 straight podiums, 2 of those wins. You're in contact.
Yeah, Chris, we're in contract, but I'm not really an advocate of this point system with the pole inversion of top 5. Pole gets 5 points. I'm in second place to a guy I beat on the racetrack every week, and I don't know what to say about that. Last year we'd be leading at this time. Right now we're in second. We're just going to have to keep winning races, I guess.
A lot of time left this year to win those races. Fourth in the points, Boris Said at 83. Now, 2 podiums to start the year. Third place is Boris, but then 2 straight 10ths. You've got some catching up to do.
Yeah, I had a little bad luck the last 2 races, but, you know, after getting the podiums, I really want to win a race, and I'm not really worried about the points. So, you know, hopefully this weekend it'll turn around, and, you know, I'm going to get that first win.
Dorsey Schrader, Boris Said, teammates, and the Tom Gloy Ford effort. And finally, third in the championship, Ron Fellows at 95 points. Ron, a disappointment at Lime Rock, big crash. That hurts, but a tonic at Detroit.
Yeah, winning is great therapy. Yeah, we're feeling better. You know, I'm real happy with the car. We've got our first win for Chevrolet and did it in the Motor City. Very pleased about that. But, you know, the big picture is we got to get back in this championship hunt. 23 points is not insurmountable by any means. Today's race, going to be kind of interesting.
And there is a lot more going on in Portland. To catch up with what's new, let's join Bill Adam with this week's Auto Week update.
Mark Fields-Ticker, the winner of this very prestigious race back in 1980. Now you're competing with essentially an amateur effort and up against some of the best factory teams in the world. Where's your incentive?
Well, it's a daunting task, but we've always enjoyed running against the best Trans Am cars, and we're not always right at the front, but we keep trying to improve, and we keep going faster every year. It's a moving target, and it's pretty difficult to do.
Greg Pickett, I think one of your most inspired performances in years leading that race last week at Belle Isle. You were away in the back. You were full of Cytomax, I'm sure, just giving you all that energy and ready to race with the young guys. You know how to do it here. 4 times you've been on the pole at Portland. You were a winner here in '84. You know how to win, and yet last week you had it won and you gave it away.
Well, you know, we probably did give it away. You know, we didn't know how hard we could push the car or how long we could push the car. Since we put it in the fence of Phoenix, you know, we just haven't had enough time to test. So we've come here to Portland. I'm going to be filled up with Cytomax. We're going to do some Rain-X, and I mean, we're going to be ready to put it back in victory circle here.
Last week, Tim, the world's best oil had its best performance of the year. Pretty spectacular, but you had a real hard hit into that turn 1.
Yeah, we certainly did, and it was a great race. You're right. We were running 6 at the time, and unfortunately had a little mishap that obviously caused a lot of damage to the car, but in 36 hours, the crew fixed it, so we're back here in Portland.
You go from a high, having your finest performance ever in the series, to a low of not finishing the race. Psychologically, what does that do to you?
Well, if you don't remember the accident, then, you know, being knocked out, what the heck? Just keep on starting. Hopefully the upward swing will continue.
Brian Till, Detroit must have had mixed emotions for you. You had a spectacular qualifying, starting on the pole position. You ran very strong early in the race. You were a solid second place. Then a little contact with Paul Gentilozzi put you off, and a disappointing finish. But now it's a new race. How does this affect your psychology?
It was disappointing, but, you know, it's one of those things that just happens in racing. Paul was racing for position, so you can't really, you know, get too upset about it. It's a different racetrack, a different race this weekend. We just got to go out and do the best we can.
This update has been brought to you by Auto Week, America's only enthusiast weekly. Call 1-800-232-1520 for a year's subscription to Auto Week at the lowest price ever, just $19.95. That's 1-800-232-1520. Get Auto Week today.
Don't wait. Get the news weekly of motoring, Auto Week. Don't wait for driving impressions. Auto Week drives them all and tells you about them first. Don't wait for car news. Auto Week covers the world. Auto shows, the new, the old, and brings it to you fast. Don't wait for racing news. Get the news weekly of motoring. Auto Week brings you the winningest coverage first. Don't wait. Get Auto Week, the news weekly of motoring, now.
Call 1-800-232-1520 for this TV race weekend special. Get Auto Week at the lowest price ever, $19.95 for 52 issues. But don't wait. This special offer expires midnight on Tuesday. Get Auto Week at the lowest price ever. Call 1-800-232-1520 now.